And it is a mega TMC versus BJP rally face-off in the state of war, Bengal. Home Minister Amit Shah and Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is going to be holding campaign rallies in different parts of the state. Mamata is going to be addressing two campaign rallies in Bagmundi's Jhalla area at 12 noon and another one at the Balarampur Rathala ground at 3 p.m. on a wheelchair. This is coming in after Mamata was injured during campaigning in Nandigram last week. During a rally in Kolkata last evening, Mamata said she's ready to play with a broken leg. Home Minister Amit Shah on his second day of Bengal visit is going to be also addressing two rallies. The first one in Jhargram at 11 and the second one in Ranibad in Bankura at 1 p.m. Shah is also expected to meet the family members of BJP workers who are killed in Bengal.
আমাকে বেরোতেই হবে আমাকে ভরসা রাখুন আমি আবার বলছি আমি হুইল চেয়ারে ভাঙা পায়ে আমি সারা বাংলা ঘুরে বেড়াবো আর খেলা হবে মনে রাখবেন নিহত বাঘের থেকেও আহত বাঘ আরো ভয়ঙ্কর
सांसद का अधिकार है जनता का प्रतिनिधि दोनों सदनों में बनने का। ये फैसला बंगाल की जनता को करना चाहिए और ममता दीदी हमारे सांसदों से क्यों डर रही है? नहीं डरना चाहिए, जो भी आए सामना करिए। हम ट्रोलबाजी को तोड़ना चाहते हैं, हम करप्शन को तोड़ना चाहते हैं, हम घुसपैठ को रोकना चाहते हैं।
5 days after Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee was injured during campaigning in Nandigram, the EC has cracked the whip. The poll body has suspended Vivek Sahai, the security director who is in charge of Mamata's safety, and asserted the charges must be framed against him for grossly failing to discharge his primary duty to protect the Z+ protectee. The Election Commission has also ordered the suspension of Purba Medinipur SP Praveen Prakash and DM Vibhu Goyal. This is of course coming in after EC's Observer Committee concluded that there was no attack on Mamata Banerjee and the injury was a result of security lapses. BJP candidate from Nandigram, Shivendu Adhikari, taking a jibe at Mamata, said that not just the DM and SP, all those appointed by Mamata's nephew must be removed. Meanwhile, BJP has written out to the EC seeking the extent of Mamata's injury to be made public and asked if all the SOPs were followed during her treatment at SSKM Hospital.
তবে আমি মনে করি শুধু ডিএমএসপি নয় শুধু এই জেলা নয় আরো বহু জায়গায় খোলনলচে বদলানো দরকার আছে পরিবর্তন করার ভাইপো যাদেরকে বেছে বেছে পাঠিয়েছে এই সব লোকগুলোকেও তুলে ফেলা দরকার আছে ইলেকশন কমিশন যত সক্রিয় হবে তত অবাধ ভয়মুক্ত গণতান্ত্রিক পরিবেশে নির্বাচন পরিবেশ তৈরি হবে নির্বাচন কমিশনের এই সিদ্ধান্তকে আমি স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি
The BJP has announced its second list of candidates for upcoming Bengal polls. The party has fielded stars and heavyweights, including 4 MPs in the assembly polls, while Union Minister Babul Supriyo has been fielded from Tollygunj. Rajya Sabha MP Swapan Das Gupta has been given a ticket from Tarakeshwar. Here's more coming in on the story.
A sitting Union Minister, members of Parliament and Tollywood stars. BJP star-studded second candidate list has it all. As battle for Bengal heats up, the BJP deployed its big guns. The highlight of the BJP list has been Union Minister Babul Supriyo, who has been fielded from Tollygunj in South Kolkata.
टॉलीगंज में मुझे जो दायित्व दिया गया है मैं पूरी तरीके से पूरी ऊर्जा के साथ लड़ूंगा और डेफिनेटली कॉन्फिडेंटली कह रहा हूं कि ये सीट जीत के मैं अपने पार्टी के लिए ये सीट मैं जीत के दिखाऊंगा.
Apart from Babul, BJP gave tickets to 3 other MPs. Loket Chatterjee from Sinchura, Nishit Pramanik from Dinhata and Swapan Das Gupta from Tarakeshwar.
I hope I'll be able to live up to their expectation. I know it's a challenge. I have not fought an election before. I recognize I have some limitations. But I'm sure that with the aid of the party, with the aid of the support of the people, I will be able to fulfill the responsibilities.
TMC taking a pot shot termed the list as desperate, accusing BJP of lacking the bench strength.
पहले गायक था अभी नायक होने का शायद उसका कोई माने डिजायर हुआ होगा लेकिन अभी ये माटी जो है ना बंगाल की माटी बहुत ही ज़्यादा गड़बड़ है, इसमें ज़्यादा खेलने को मत करो।
All this comes as Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee made her first public appearance after being discharged from hospital. Mamata took on the BJP and led a 5-kilometer roadshow in a wheelchair, giving the Khela Hobe war cry, asserting that an injured tiger is more dangerous.
আমাকে ভরসা রাখুন, আমি আবার বলছি, আমি হুইল চেয়ারে ভাঙা পায়ে আমি সারা বাংলা ঘুরে বেড়াবো আর খেলা হবে।
However, 4 days after she was injured while campaigning in Nandigram, the poll body has concluded that there was no attack on Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee and the injury was just a result of security lapse. Cracking the whip, the Election Commission removed Mamata's Director of Security, Vivek Sahai, from his post.
जो जनरल छोटा सा मार लगा उसको अटैक किया बोल के जो जनता के सामने लाए, इसके कारण से ममता बनर्जी का स्थिति बहुत गिरावट आया है। वो जनता ऐसी गलत प्रचार के ऊपर कभी विश्वास नहीं करती है। आने वाले दिन में इसका माहौल बहुत टीएमसी का माहौल और बिगड़ेंगे।
With Polami Saha in Kolkata, Bureau Report, India Today.
Tamil Nadu is gearing up to witness a gala political show. 3 big leaders of the state are all set to file their nomination today. Chief Minister EPS is going to file his nomination from his safe seat, Erapadi in Salem district. His victory would make him register a hat-trick win from that seat. He's going to be contesting against DMK's Sampath Kumar. Meanwhile, DMK chief M.K. Stalin will file his nomination from Kolatpur constituency in Chennai for the 3rd consecutive term. While M&M chief Kamal Hassan is going to be filing his nomination from Coimbatore South at 1:30 in the afternoon, the actor-turned-neta is going to be contesting BJP Women's Cell chief Vanathi Srinivasa on that particular seat. Ruling AIADMK released its manifesto for the upcoming assembly polls. The party's bold promise was to push the centre to drop the controversial CAA, which was passed in the parliament in 2019. The party has also promised reducing fuel prices in the state if voted to power. Amongst its populist measures, AIADMK has promised 6 free gas cylinders every year, washing machines for families, free cable TV, dual citizenship for Sri Lankan refugees, and changing the name of Madras High Court to Tamil Nadu High Court. In the educational sector, the party promised waiving off educational loans, extending midday meal to 9th, 10th and 11th grade students. AIADMK is now hoping for a historic 3rd consecutive term this time around.
மைய அரசு புதியதாக அறிமுகப்படுத்தி இருக்கும் குடியுரிமை திருத்த சட்டத்தை CAA கைவிட வலியுறுத்தல்.
Yeah, this manifesto proves that the dream of Mr. M.K. Stalin to form the government is done and dusted. This manifesto has taken care of all the strata of the society. I think this is a fabulous manifesto which encompassed all the parameters of economic development, job creation, and how to increase the per capita income, and how to keep the economy rolling, and how people can have a peaceful life.
Twists and turns continue in Mukesh Ambani bomb scare case. The NIA has arrested Mumbai cop Sachin Vaze for his alleged role in placing bomb in a Scorpio that was found near Antillia on 25th of February. He's been sent to NIA custody till 25th of March. Here's more coming in on Sachin Vaze.
Is there a threat to India's richest man? This high-profile Mumbai cop in NIA custody may hold the clue. After more than 2 weeks, first arrest in Ambani bomb scare case. The National Investigating Agency arrested Mumbai Police's high-flying yet controversial Assistant Police Inspector Sachin Vaze after 12 hours of grilling on Saturday. The arrest comes over his alleged role in placing gelatin sticks in Scorpio car placed near Ambani family-owned Antillia on February 25th. Vaze is arrested on charges of forgery, negligent conduct with explosive substance, creating counterfeit seal and criminal intimidation. The NIA may also conduct more arrests and may question more Maharashtra cops.
The
officer who was earlier investigating this whole case is now arrested by NIA. Now the NIA believes that Sachin Waze is the mastermind, but also says that he alone cannot execute this whole case, and therefore the Mumbai police officials are now under radar. Some of the CIU officials are right now at NIA office and they are being questioned in this whole matter. The NIA sources also claims that more arrest is likely possible in this whole case.
Meanwhile, in another sensational twist, direct complicity of Mumbai Cop Unit emerges in the case after revelation by ATS sources. The Innova car used by the bomber to flee Mumbai city has been found to be owned by Mumbai Crime Intel Unit. Waze was earlier part of the CIU while leading the Ambani bomb probe. The Innova was used as a getaway car by the bomber after planting explosives in the Scorpio. The bomber was also caught inside the Innova at Mulund Toll Plaza. The car is now in NIA possession.
Now NIA clearly believes that alone Sachin Waze cannot execute this whole case, and therefore some of the Mumbai police officials as well as some of other people are on radar of NIA. The questioning by NIA is still going on. Now about the Mansukh Hiren death case, ATS is investigating. But if there is any link between both cases, NIA will take over the Mansukh Hiren death case as well, and therefore they are continuously coordinating with the ATS official regarding the investigation. With camera person Vijay Desai, this is Saurabh Vakhtania in Mumbai for India Today.
Maharashtra's battle against coronavirus continues to worsen as the state recorded 16,620 fresh COVID cases in the state on Sunday. It is for the third day in a row that the state has reported over 15,000 daily cases. Meanwhile, the state has recorded 50,000 new deaths, taking the death toll to 52,861. Mumbai recorded 1,962 cases, Pune 1,780, Nashik 1,356, Aurangabad 1,023 and Nagpur recorded 1,976 cases. Meanwhile, total lockdown in Nagpur due to the steady spike in cases couldn't be enforced from today. The authorities had earlier announced that all private offices, whereas government offices are going to see only 25% attendance. Otherwise, only essential services are going to be fully operational. And time now for our special COVID segment, The Good, the Bad and the Ugly. Here's a report.
Here is the good news of the day when it comes to the vaccination drive and the pandemic in the country. The vaccine drive has picked up a lot of pace in India. On Saturday, 15 lakh vaccinations were done. In fact, 15 lakh doses were administered. To achieve the target of 30 crore vaccinations by July, India needs to do around about 13 lakh vaccinations every single day, and we seem to be getting there. Individual state governments have also pledged to, in fact, do many more vaccinations on a daily basis. UP government, for example, has said that by the end of this month, they should be ending up doing more than 10 million vaccinations. And for the same reason, they've launched a special 15-day drive that is going to see many more inoculations in the next few days. Here is the bad news of the day when it comes to the pandemic. Not just the number of cases, but even the number of deaths, unfortunately, have increased in the country. Over the weekend, 161 deaths were reported. In fact, on Saturday alone, these many deaths were reported in the country. This is rather worrisome because if cases increase and they become severe, then the death toll increases. By far, India has managed to keep its fatality rate below 2%. It needs to keep the deaths under check. The Karnataka government now also, after the Maharashtra government, has said that we must pull our socks up or else we'll have to go in for a lockdown, given the fact that many states across the country are now reporting a large number of cases. Of course, Maharashtra is continuing to report more than 16,000 cases. India in totality is reporting close to 26,000 cases, and this is rather worrisome.
Well, this is the ugly side to the coronavirus pandemic. Now, the Director General of Civil Aviation has brought out a notice for those passengers who refuse to mask up in flights. The DGCA has said that these passengers will be treated as unruly and will be asked to deboard before the flight takes off. And this is in situations where a lot of people who are not found wearing a mask inside the flights. The Director General's notice also says that people will also be put on a no-fly list for 3 months till up to 2 years if the rules and regulations of flights are not complied by. We're looking at a surge of cases of COVID-19 throughout the country, and as flights continue to operate, it's very important that all passengers, while deboarding or boarding a flight, wear a mask.
India gave England a taste of their own medicine with an emphatic 7-wicket victory. Debutant Ishan Kishan laid a perfect platform for India to chase down a target of 165, and Virat's unbeaten 73 was an icing on the cake as well. Here's more.
Just the kind of start India needed. Bhuvneshwar striking in the very first over, and Jos Buttler was on his way.
Goes away. India draw first blood.
India kept the run rate somewhat under check, and Chahal got David Malan, who wasn't too fluent on the day.
Pitching in line, impact in line, wicket setting, going back to Anil on field.
England were 83 for 2 at the halfway mark, and an over later Sundar got Jason Roy, who once again missed out on a half-century, this time by 4 runs.
There's a man underneath it. Oh, and he takes the catch. Beautifully taken in the deep, Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Eoin Morgan did hit a few boundaries, but India pulled things back using the slower ball well in the later stages of the game, which eventually got the England skipper.
Should be taken by Rishabh Pant.
Ben Stokes wasn't getting those boundaries and was struggling as India came back well to restrict England to 164 for 6.
It's gone straight to the man at long on.
In reply, India came out with a new opening pair. KL Rahul got out for a duck, but Ishan Kishan showed his USP, and his approach was exactly what Virat had mentioned about, aggressive with the bat.
Again smashed, this time in front of covers.
At the other end, his skipper Virat also got going, and runs were beginning to come thick and fast.
Got hold of it. And here we go again. It's short, it's picked up, and it's smashed over deep square for 6. Goes for it.
Ishan Kishan was hitting clean, and he was hitting them big. And 2 back-to-back sixes got him to his half-century on debut of just 28 deliveries. But in the very same over, Adil Rashid brought an end to Ishan Kishan's promising and exciting knock.
Says the umpire. Oh, he's connected as well.
Rishabh Pant played some entertaining shots before he perished for a 13-ball 26 with India well on course.
It's going to be caught. It is.
Virat also got runs under his belt and launched a 6 to bring up his 26th half-century in T20 International.
Glorious stroke down the ground, used his feet, got to the pitch. That's a great way to bring up your 50, Virat Kohli.
There were no alarm bells this time as India cruised to victory with 7 wickets in hand and go 1-all in the 5-match series. Sports Bureau, India Today.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.